Well, simple. When my son here was about 16 years old, it was a nightmare at school. That's all we ever talked about, his marks. He managed to get single-digit marks, if you don't mind me saying so. Not because he couldn't do the work, but because he never turned up, and when he turned up, he didn't do anything. So anyway, one day I just gave up. He was 6'4". You can't force a kid in school. And I said, look, here's the deal. You can drop out of school. You don't have to pay any rent. You don't have to get a job. You can sleep till 5 o'clock every afternoon if you want. But here's the catch. You have to watch 3 movies a week with me of my choice, and you have to sit all the way through them. That's the deal. You either do that, or you go out and get a job like the rest of the world. That's a little embarrassing, actually. Jesse, why don't you? I'm gonna let him answer that.
When after his last novel was published, he wanted to write another novel, and he'd expressed an idea to have it a novel about how to get over a woman, as in, you break up with a girl, and how to get through that rough period after when you miss them.
He had the impression I'd had a lot of experience in that arena.
So yeah, no, I kind of just said, I kind of think that's what all your novels have been about. So maybe you've gone down that road.
Right. Oh, right.
And I just got the idea for this great time we spent together watching movies right when I left school, when I was from the ages of 16 to 18.
And like all the good ideas, of course, it never occurred to me. When he said I was thunderstruck, I thought, oh, what a great idea. Why can't I ever think of an idea like that myself? So essentially the book's his idea. So really, I'm not responsible for it, he is. Well, I didn't have any choice. The guy was 6'4". I mean, we were 6 months from him going, fuck you, I'm not going to school, what are you going to do about it? So I simply saw the writing on the wall and acted, as they say, preemptively. I mean, I had lost the battle. When a kid doesn't want to go to school, you're deluding yourself if you think you're going to force them to, because all you do is turn them into liars, right?
Yeah. Well, there were two things that I'd say. First of all, the years before that, the couple of years, were very strained on us because of of school, basically. So when I left school, it was a time that we could kind of, this sounds like such a cliche, but reconnect. And I think we really did, and just have a nice time together where the only focus was kind of these movies and sitting around and talking about them. And
yeah, it was great. We get up in the morning and we come downstairs. We'd have a cup of coffee, and it was a time in my life when things were a little on the slow side. So we'd bring our coffee out, we'd put it on the coffee table, and at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, we'd just roll a movie, and that's what we would do all day. And the neighbors would walk by, and sometimes they'd look in the window and they'd go, God, what's going on in there?
Then we'd have dinner.
That was our day. Well, you think that people are going to love the same things that you do. And so one day, like a sort of happy dog, a retriever, I said, oh, look, here's a copy of Hard Day's Night. And I put it on for him, and I thought that he was going to go nuts, that he was going to see these guys and he was going to say, oh, God, this is, your generation had it all. Well, at the end of the movie, he just turned to me, he said, that was just awful. And the worst of the bunch was John Lennon, just a complete embarrassment for a man. And I just about keeled over. And that was kind of the beginning of a whole bunch of surprises where I came to the conclusion, which is, he's not like me, actually. He's like he is. He's not like me.
Well, probably the biggest surprise I had, as far as the movies went, was a movie called Ran, by a director called Kurosawa. And the way I was about 16 turning 17, and the way he set it up for me was, Jesse, I need you to watch this movie. I want you to watch this movie. It's the Japanese version of King Lear. So obviously, 17-year-old kid, I thought, great.
Oh boy.
Let's get right to that. Yeah. And he said, I need you to watch a half an hour. And it was just an amazing and profound and brilliant movie.
What it was, and I didn't plan it this way, because I thought, well, this is the only education he's going to get, so I've got to do something for him. But really what it allowed me to do was it allowed me to spend time with a teenage boy at a time when teenagers are essentially closing the door on you and easing you out of their life. All right. Yes, all right, I'll plug my ears.
I have moments of real, terror about it, because it's, a lot of personal stuff about me in the book. And other times, I think that it's going to be, okay.
Right, that's a very sweet way of putting it. Right. Yeah.